Hello guys, welcome to my 16th video on C programming. In this video I will show you how to sort alphabets in an array. So let's get started quickly. This is a wait concept. So now declare and initialize variables as like always. Users input of size 10 and final result of size 10 and a temporary variable. Right, now the integer of x equal to x I and an array of alphabets, so alphabetic else 26 is equal to initialize this with 0. Right, let me make some of the more declarations. Int where, right. Now first we'll get the input from the user, enter as string, get it using scanf percentage as, because it is a character, users input. Right, now the user inputs a string, a data stored in a variable user inputs of character data type. Let me tell you this one first. Okay, so let's consider this as an array. Now these 1 2 3 4 5 are the elements and 0 1 2 3 4 are the positions. So each and every element will be stored in some position in an array. So we are going, so this is very easy to retrieve the array elements 1 2 3 4 5, whereas we are going to define a for loop which retrieves the position where these elements are stored. So for that we are going to have a for loop for here I am going to use int variable to hold the elements stored in this user's input. So the elements stored in the user's input will be stored in this integer variable. Here this is a character data type, we are going to assign them in an integer data type. So for that just put users input of group I, which is going to be defined now I equal to 0 I up to strlen users input I plus plus. Right, and now this one will pick out all the elements stored in this user's input and assign to this integer variable. If the user's input a b c a, the b's ASCII value will be assigned to this integer, whereas now we need to find out the position where the element is stored. For that we need to convert this character to integer, so for that use this. Right, so now this character will be converted to this integer, so this will give us the position where it is stored. And one more thing, increment this alphabets with this integer variable with 1. Right, I'll explain you this within a second. One second, please wait for. So now I'm going to print out the state print out the elements being stored in this alps. Print of percentage d, because this is an integer alps of now let me do this first. Copy this, paste over here, put an I. Right, now let me show you. Run this and enter something else. Now here it shows that the elements stored in the else as 1 1 1, because here this else array has some integer value and it is incremented with 1. So now here let me tell you this. Else is an array and this is an loop value which is incremented with 1. Here let us consider that here comes this one. So now b is stored in first position of the array. Now this b is converted to integer, and this int where will hold 1. So this 1 will be here. So else first position will be incremented with 1. We know that by default this else array is 0, so it doesn't has any values in it, so it has only 0. So now the b is the 1, right? So as first position is incremented with 1, so it causes the first position's value to turn from 0 to 1. And for c is stored in position 2, so 2 will be stored in int var. So as second position is incremented with 1, so the second position will become 1. And then the first position, which is a is 0, so 0 as 0 position will be incremented with 1. So the first three, so these three are the first three values. So here instead of putting this limit to the size to the string entered, let me print out first 10 and see now what happens. Come on. Oops. Yeah. So now see what happens is the a. Now the elements apart from b, c, a, all the other elements are turned as 0. So these three numbers are used to identify the numbers being entered. You just remember that, and in the remaining steps we will be going through with all these things. So now here comes the main thing. So this loop will start looping from a. So a is a character, so I'm going to use this tmp variable, which is a character, is equal to a and a loop up to z and tmp plus plus. Now let me print this out. Print %c comma tmp. Okay, make a new line and print this out. Copy this. Right. So now we got that. Okay, crap. Here these three inputs, 3 1 are the previous for loop, and the latest this for loop will start commencing from a and loops up to y, because I have set the limit to loop up to y but not y, but not z. Loop up to z, so it printed out up to y. So now we are going to instead of printing this same thing, we are going to add the result to this final result array and then printing it out. For that, put the array name where you need to store the result and equal to tmp. For the loop value, we are going to use x equal to 0, x. Now increment the value of x with a 1, x plus plus, right? So now every time it is loop, it will increment the value of x from 0, so the next value will be stored in the next position of the array. Now print out the final result. Printf %s comma final result, right? Now let me run this and show you what happens. So here we got the same result, but these are the these results are added to this array final result array, and then this array is printed out, right? Okay. Now the same thing is going to be done, but with a small condition. Print out start looping from a up to z and print out all the statements, but with a small condition. And that condition will sort out the elements in the array, and that condition will hold this two statements. So let me cut this and put it in a for loop, and this for loop will provide the condition to sort the string in the array. Before placing this for loops 3 condition, we are going to place some condition for the outer for loop. So here put this into our equals tmp minus a. So this will capture elements from a to z, take out the position from in the array where it is stored, and will assign it to this integer variable int var. Now this for loop will start looping from I equal to 0 I up to else int underscore var. Now I plus plus, right? Now so this is the for loop which does the sorting process. So how it is, let me tell you clearly. So now let's treat the user inputs b, c, a as input. Now the loop will start. We know that the elements other than first 3 are 0. So here I equal to 0 I up to else of int variable. So here int variable is b. Let's treat the user inputs b, c, a. So b is 1, so 1 else first place. So I commences from 0 and up to 1, so this process will occur one time, right? And when it is looped for the second time, it will see c. C is 2, so int variable will be 2, and the I equal to 0 and I up to else of 2, which is 1. We know that elements apart from these 3 are 0, so this is 1, so it will occur 1. By the same way it occurs for the third one a, whereas when it is looped for the fourth time, the I equal to 0 I up to else. Here let's take any other variable, for example d. So d is 0. We know that any elements apart from the first 3 is 0, so 0 commences from 0 and loops up to 0. But is it possible? So it's not possible, so it terminates out, and because the loop and because the result has the three values, and it is printed out over here. So that's it. So let me run this program and see what happens. BCA, and this is not necessary. Take out this. BCA, we got the answer as ABC. Let me run this with some other string, something like take chips. Here we got this because I have put equal to here. You just take this out and check it out, it will run properly. So we got CEHHIPSTP. so the string or the elements in this string stored in the array is sorted in ascending order properly. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in my next video.